so beautiful, and I tell her every day.
What's going on? What I say? Welcome back to my channel. I am Serene, and in today's video, based on the title, you know we're making salmon burgers or salmon croquettes, whatever you might want to call it, fish cakes, and pre-seasoned salmon, seasoned thoroughly, cleaned and skinned. And now I am just spraying some low-calorie olive oil spray on like grease-proof paper, and we're gonna just bake this. I didn't preheat the oven, so we're just gonna bake it at between 180 to 200 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 20 minutes. You can just keep looking at it. I didn't really time it, but I did keep my eye on it just to ensure that it doesn't like dry out too much, but it's cooked through thoroughly. And you're gonna see why, because we're not really gonna be cooking the patties itself. We're just frying them up to get a good crust on it and just cook out the egg, but you'll see later on in the video. So we get this into the oven, and then I do have some red bell pepper, or just a bit of it, just to give it some color, and we're just gonna fry that down. And the onion, well, it's actually a shallot, and I grated it, and it's just easier instead of having bits of onion in the patty. So the fish is out, as you can see, cook right through, and I'm just jugging it up but I'm just sticking the fork through it just to ensure. And you see that little white thing is essentially like the fat of the salmon, because salmon is a fatty fish, to be fair. And this is how I can tell that my salmon is cooked thoroughly through. It would naturally start to release those like fatty pieces. And we're just gonna have it cool. You can see the oil is still kind of going from it. It's fresh out of the oven. And we're just gonna let it cool and then desiccate it essentially. But you obviously want to be able to touch it, so let it cool. So it cooled, and you can see that I've really crumbed it up a bit. So now we're gonna get some black pepper in there, and I finally got like myself a whole grinder. Yes, that is called a grinder for my black peppers. So this is so cool. It feels so nice. You can change like the coarseness or the fineness of the grind, so it's perfect. So we just grind black peppers until ancestors tell us to cool out, calm down. And then I think I'm going to end up putting in some seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, complete seasoning from Badia. You know, this is my favorite seasoning to use. It is not as salty as other all-purpose seasonings, but it gives good flavor and enough salt. Now some Italian seasoning, just because I don't know really, because I just put Italian seasoning in everything. That's my staple. And yes, we're gonna start now adding the ingredients there. So we have in the ramekins, we have grated shallots, we have chives, red bell pepper, mayo, 1 egg, and breadcrumbs. So now we're just going to get the grated shallot into the pan, and then we're going to add the chives. Oh, sorry, not the chives. We're adding the red bell pepper. And remember, I did saute this down really quickly just to get them softened a bit. Then we're going to add the chives. I love chives. To an extent, they've kind of replaced green onions for me, but chives make everything taste good, in my opinion. I'm here for it all the time, every time. And, you know, I'm just trying to get that out. But guys, this is such a versatile thing to have. It's easy. Sometimes I have it with salad. I'll just mince up the burger when I feel like, and I'll have it with salad. Or I have it with a burger when I'm feeling like junk food. Then I'll have a burger and then be like, okay, this suffices. And I have still kept my diet majority pescatarian, so that's been good. So as you can see, I've added the egg, and now I'm adding the mayo. So we had about 3 tablespoons of mayo, 3 to 4 tablespoons of mayo. And what you can do, if you don't want to use the mayo, you can use 2 eggs instead of adding mayo, but I prefer to use mayo and egg. But yeah, so it's a very versatile dish, and it's good. It cuts the cravings out of having like junk food, but then you control what you eat, and it's fish. It's not meat. It's not staying in your diet for too long. It's just seafood, and seafood is easier to digest it. So that is always good. You get your omega-3s and your omega fatty acids, all that health jargon stuff. But I do enjoy making this. It is so good, and it never disappoints. Quick, easy, just go. The hardest part is getting the salmon skinned and also cooking it. But you can see that I added some chili flakes because who don't like spicy food? What? Everything has to be spicy. So we're just mixing it up, just ensuring everything is good before we add the breadcrumbs. I have pre-seasoned my breadcrumbs. Oh yes, I added some powdered garlic. Is that powdered garlic? Garlic granules. So yes, I added some garlic powder. But yes, I did pre-season my breadcrumbs. That it has parsley in it, Parmesan cheese, and garlic salt in the breadcrumbs. So there, it's about a third cup of breadcrumbs so far. And with the breadcrumbs, what you want to do is add it a little bit at a time, just because you want to be able to control how dry or how wet your mixture is, because you want it to be able to clump together. If it's too wet, it's just going to break apart in the frying pan. If it's too dry, then obviously it's too dry in it. So we're just going to add all of it in and mix. So based on what you're going to see, it looks as if it's coming together. But when I tried to get it together, it was too wet. And if it's too wet, like I said before, it's going to break apart in the frying pan. And you want some pretty steaks. You don't want steaks that just falling apart. So you're going to see eventually I'm going to go ahead and add another third cup of, you see that is too wet. It's almost like mash. So I'm going to add another third cup or so of breadcrumbs again. And this is the breadcrumb that I've been using. This is a breadcrumb that I typically buy. I don't buy any other brand and any other type. Just always golden colored breadcrumbs from Paxo. So we are going to add some more breadcrumbs to this and just mix. Make sure everything is incorporated and it's distributed properly. And as you can see, there's no hard method to this. If you've seen me made meatballs before, the video will be in the iCards. Then the concept is essentially the same. It's just that this is fish, meatballs is meat. And yes, so I'm just getting a plate so that we can start balling up our patties and getting it ready. So I did get a breadcrumb mixture, almost essentially the same of what we had before. But what we're going to do is we are going to, when we pack our patties or breadcrumb, when we pack our saltfish patties, Serene, what is up with you? When we pack our salmon burger patties, we're gonna have them roll around in those breadcrumbs just to keep them from sticking to each other and just to give it an outer crust that when it's fried, it can have some crunch to it. No, I am going to fry these, but these can also be baked. They're probably even healthier baked. It's just that ain't nobody got time for that really. So you just drop it down in some oil real quick, fry it up, take it out. And I usually do this in bulk. So just like these can be baked, these can also be frozen before actually cooking them through. I just prefer to cook them through because I can always just take it out, put it in the oven, and turn my back on it whenever I'm at work or working from home or I'm busy. So once I know it's cooked, then I know it's cooked. So these I'm just going to make, and I'm only going to have one tonight. So the other 3 will go into the freezer for when I would like to use them, just like you would any other frozen beef patty. So I'm just packing it as tightly as possible, ensuring that there aren't any breaks. Forming, is that a word? Forming. I think I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, but molding it, English. We're going to mold it into the size that we want, the shape that we want, and just have it rest in that breadcrumb mixture. And this gives it a nice texture, but then it also makes the patty look very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. And not only do we want looks, but we want taste in it. And you can see it's looking all good. You just make sure you pack it neatly, mold it nicely, and then you go ahead. And I'm just gonna do the other ones off camera, and just to save us some time, and because, well, it's easy to do. So I'm just warming up the frying pan with the oil, and then you can see the patties are there just looking all scrumdiddlyumptious. So we're gonna just stick a wooden spoon into the fire, into the oil, and this is how you would test that oil is hot enough. No need to be dropping hot water into the pan so that it can splatter back at you. So we're just gonna get it in. This fire is on medium to high heat, and this is not sped up, so it shows you exactly how quickly they fry. Because what we're trying to do, we're just trying to have it cook enough where the ingredients that are inside are cooked through. But remember, we cooked the salmon before, so there's nothing in there really that needs to cook other than the egg. An egg don't take that long to cook, so we just need to get that done. We're gonna go to flip it, stay same steady time, and as you can hear, I've zoomed it in. You can see and hear the oil, and you can see the brownness around the patties. When you see that brownness, you want to flip the patty. We don't want to burn it. We don't want it charred. We want it done and crispy, but not burnt. And these are just perfect patties. Perfect patties. They're thick, good size, can fit in a burger bun, and just goodness. Like, these are my go-to fried food when it comes to seafood, just to curb that, craving. So we're just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take these out, and I will be frying the remainder of the patties off camera. I've just took a cookie sheet and lined it with paper towel just to catch some of the oil from the patties, because we don't want all of that oil left. But yes, so we're just gonna add the other ones, and this will be done off camera, and I will go ahead and finish frying up the rest patties. And then we're gonna go into seeing how luscious these ones here look. Look at that. You can see the chives, you can see the parsley, you can see the breadcrumb, you can see the red pepper, and then I have built my burger where I have some chipotle cheese, my burger, some spinach, and on a brioche bun. And then I made some homemade halloumi fries, just to prevent myself from having potatoes, really. This brings us to the end of the video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. And live, love, laugh, and eat properly. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.